All right. Sorry about that, guys. Missed the bell a little bit. You like this beat, where it's from? It is from Deep Focus Music. Pretty interesting channel here on YouTube. I'll link him up real quick here in the chat for you guys. Good morning, Nicholas. German. West Montgomery, Tangyman, Simon, Cheese, Jason. Good morning. Rick. The original goose. I like that one. I love YouTube. Bob. Outlaw. Good morning and happy Taco Tuesday. Oh yeah, I forgot it is Taco Tuesday. I'm just gonna have to have some tacos for dinner tonight then. I think that's gonna be how it works. Yep. Good morning, Ramirez. SPY is stuck right now. Go to a 15-minute chart just to show how slow and choppy SPY has been today. 688 is acting as critical resistance. The SPY failed to break there 2 different times this morning in pre-market. Unfortunately, failed to break out. It would have been nice to be above here heading into this morning. 686, though, the low from yesterday, is going to be a huge range to watch for here today. If that starts to give out, that's where I think a lot more bearish opportunities could come in. Metals are moving back up again. Yeah, they are. SLV moving higher. GLD. SLV is actually up quite a bit. Up 3.8% here. Silver itself is up a lot more. Load for us. There we go. 4.8%. It's up over 8% from lows yesterday, though, which is interesting. Here's SLV. Nice gap up in pre-market, movement higher. From open today, it went red. JP says it looks red to me. Yeah, it does look pretty red. From open anyways, but you gotta count that pre-market action too. What's up, BW? BW. Nice stock, actually, up 2% today. Babcock and Wilcox Enterprises. Never heard of it before, but it's funny. I figured I'd type it in, see what we found there. What's up, though? Good morning. Tesla's melting down. TSLA. Wow. Yeah, they almost got to $500 in the short term, and that was a big pullback there. Tesla actually filled the gap from this morning and then some. Down even more, down 0.77%. That's kind of nasty there. Next support on Tesla. Seeing Tesla fall down like this is pretty rough. I mean, 450 is something you got to think about here. Looks like on a charting basis, once we break down through 456, 455, I'd eye up 452.50. That would be the first level I'd really look for there. 452.50. Hey, JP says, I've been watching your channel for 2 or more years. Thanks for what you do and what you do all year round. Appreciate that, JP. 2 or more years. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks for still being here, of course. As we go into the end of 2025, kicking off the new year here in just a couple days. 2026 is going to be fun. Tesla's selling off because they can't sell the Cybertruck. Overreaction. Is that kind of why they are actually pulling back? Oh, wow. Correction to Tesla compiles downbeat delivery estimates article. Tesla anticipates about 1.75 million deliveries next year, compared with roughly 1.86 million deliveries that analysts surveyed by FactSet were looking for. Tesla compiles downbeat analysts' delivery estimates. Incorrectly said the company anticipates about 1.75 billion deliveries next year, compared with 1.86 billion deliveries expected by analysts. Uh-oh. 1.75 million is a lot different than 1.75 billion. That's for sure. That would be pretty funny. Imagine Tesla stock explodes. They're like, oh my god, billions. Nah, I think even the, even like the AI algos will be okay. One-eighth of the world will be getting that. That's kind of what I was thinking. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, good morning. Tesla's target 420. Yet again before the end of the year. You're looking for it to target 420? That would be interesting. Before the end of the year, only a couple days left. That would be a pretty big drop-off there in just a couple days. Check on NASDAQ or the QQQ. Pulling back a little bit here as well. Pretty big red candles. Man, SPY is still rejecting here at 688. This is a very big area of resistance for today. I'd agree. Tesla is 200% hype lately. Oh, yeah. Tesla is a hype stock for sure. One of the bigger hype players out there, I'd say. Yeah, I'm not surprised it shows something at 450. That does make sense there. Very big buy wall at 450. We might see it get through. $4.50 in those bigger whole dollar areas like that are usually pretty good. This is kind of funny. Big buy wall, though. Seeing Tesla hold that was pretty interesting. There's even a pretty big stack of buyers sitting there around 454. 455, that little range there had quite a bit. Three consecutive green days. Better to be hyped than be ignored. Meta. Cough, cough. Meta's looking pretty good today, 1.2%. Let's throw up Mag 7, see what we're looking like. As the SPY is very shaky, it looks like Meta and Microsoft are the two main stocks like moving up there. Pretty big sell-off by Tesla there to open. I know we've been looking at that one quite a bit. Nvidia pulling back a lot too. 187.20 for Nvidia. Sadly, Nvidia starting to reject back down a little bit on the daily. Not my favorite price action so far. Even here on the 15-minute today, rejecting off 189. Didn't quite get to 190, but it is rejecting down in a pretty crazy way. I agree with that statement, though, Coconuts. Better to be hyped up than to be ignored. I'll say that for sure. We'll call that how it is. PLTR support. I like Nvidia's 187 support coming up. I could see Nvidia trying to hold somewhere within this range as it starts to pull back. A couple wicks where I'm pointing to, where I think it'll start to bounce back a little bit. Let's go see Palantir. Pretty much straddling support that I've had around 182. Yeah, we have quite a bit here with Palantir. 182. 180 is pretty nice. Looks like... Scrolling out here. Like 177.70 is huge. Right around this double bottom for Palantir. Damn. Sorry, guys. Silver, please. That's where all the fun is lately, isn't it? Silver and gold. SLV pulling back, of course, from open. Not the best movement from open here, but great movement off of yesterday's low. Silver itself was up over 8% from the low yesterday, so that's a pretty decent move so far. Decent sign. Big pullback at open for silver, though. I guess we'll check gold. We haven't checked it yet. GLD pulling back pretty hard as well. Pretty much pulling back the whole way, giving back all of its gains from the gap this morning. SPY starting to move back up here. Oh, okay. Look at the 1 minute chart. Couple great 1 minute candles with the SPY. Pretty good action so far. Nice. Looks like a couple minutes ago we got U.S. Chicago PMI. Got the PMI data. Not seeing any other news that makes a lot of sense here as of why the SPY would be doing this. I'm not seeing much hit. Those are some nice 1 minute candles, though. Maybe we'll see if we get some news starting to come through here soon or not. I think it's definitely plausible. Just hit 688 resistance, though. Have to try to still get through that pre-market high. Looks like it might attempt, but right now it is kind of hitting it. Meta's gonna buy Manus, an AI startup with Chinese roots. Probably why they're popping off so well here at open. Meta might make a new high of the morning here, new high of the day. Coming through. Hopefully we get some better volume today. Things are getting a bit strange out here with the holidays going on. Of course, we had Christmas. Now we have New Year's coming up here this week on Thursday. Both Thursdays back to back were closed. Now the market will be open Friday this week, so keep that in mind. No early close on Wednesday either. New Year's Eve. Anybody have any big plans for any cool parties or anything like that? I don't really mess with New Year's all that much. Nope, not much at all. Go back to SPY really quickly. Man, yeah, the only thing that really lines up here with news is the PMI data. That is pretty much what hit right then. SPY bouncing around 688.20 there. Starting to pull back now again. Getting a little bit of volatility coming through with the SPY. Tesla attempting recovery. Meta made a new high of the day just a minute ago. There we go, Meta. There we go. Keep it going strong, Meta. New Year's Eve is amateur hour, Jason said. Amateur hour. I just hope that we get some good price action here. If we get some good price action today and tomorrow, heading into the new year, I'll be pretty happy. QQQ 621.20, high of the day. High of pre-market as well. Kind of stuck here, but we might be seeing a breakout start to establish. Let's go look around for sectors that we might not think about all the time, but that are doing pretty good. Space, ASTS. AST Space Mobile up over 9% here today. Sheesh. NEO's moving. I saw a lot of China stocks up today. NEO's up 6%. Baidu's up 6%. What about Baba? Yeah, Baidu, though. 6.03. That is pretty nice. Baba pulling back. Okay. You're in ASTS currently. Hey, there we go. What's the best copper ETF? Let's see. I'm going to get a big list here. Let you know my favorite. Man, really? CPER? Is that really it? COP? I thought I'd heard of COP quite a bit. Sprott Copper Miners ETF. Definitely been moving up well. I know HG, Copper Futures, is generally what a lot of people look at. I guess you could do CPER, though. CPER seems like it follows it very closely, so that's probably what you'd want. Looks like COPP can move more, though, if you're looking at the miners specifically. Not a lot of copper ETF like options out there, really. Maybe like ICOP. Kind of the same movement. COPX. And it's all, yeah, it's just they have like the same price action. Yeah, yep. Hard to pick one. I mean, guess it's hard to stay away from iShares, right? COPX was pretty solid. Netflix has been getting slammed. NFLX. Oh, no kidding. Look at this long-term trend that Netflix is essentially testing here. It's not perfect, but it is kind of testing the trend. That's so funny you thought of that, Anthony. I had that same thought in my head. Obviously, I wasn't going to say it out loud, but I had that same thought. One sec, guys. One sec. Gonna throw up Mag 7 really fast. All right. Netflix been getting slammed. Too bad there's not that. You think Tesla's going to reject? Ooh, Tesla's already down quite a bit today, but they are recovering up a little bit. I think that there's going to be some rejection at some point. It'd be interesting, though, to see Tesla actually start to try to attempt to move higher here. I'd like to see an attempt at a recovery. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I kind of lean back up for a better recovery today rather than a larger rejection. If it does reject, I don't really see it getting under 450 here, at least today. Traders can't stay mad at Tesla. Not forever. There are a lot of people that still will always hate Tesla now. You know how the politics games are, but... Tesla is having problems at 460 here. Let's see the book map. 460 doesn't really have that many sellers stacked up there. Yeah, it's not really that large. 464, 465 is a lot larger. I'd like to see 460 re-break back up. I could see it attempting that here. Here we go, Tesla trying to recover back slightly. Got SPY still moving up. Overall on the day, it's technically up 0.02%. Just barely squeaking out green here. Barely. SM bot, Intel calls on the bot. Now that's what we want to see, Intel moving higher again. Oh yeah. .88%, pretty good action above the pre-market highs, above the highs from yesterday. Glad to see some nice green starting to squeak out of here with Intel. I do like them for a possible buy the dip opportunity here for the next couple trading days, although today seems like most of the opportunities already foregone. All right, how do you guys feel about this China-Taiwan situation? BABA's falling down a little bit today. They gapped up this morning, but are ultimately now in the red. Looking at the daily, BABA's been actively dropping, falling down lower. Pretty crazy. China and Taiwan. That would be very interesting if something really started happening there. Obviously, China likes to flex their muscles and do drills and stuff like that, but if something really did pop off with that, it would be pretty wild. Can the U.S. handle wars on so many fronts? I don't know. We spend an awful lot on defense and military, so there's probably somewhat of something there. When I was in the Army, we would talk about China a lot. That would be a tough one. Keep in mind, we wouldn't probably fight China directly. I don't know how it would exactly go down, but maybe we would. It just depends. Hopefully not. That would be, yeah. Back during like World War II or something, it would make more sense. In the modern day, I could never imagine superpowers like this going at each other. I could not imagine. Thoughts on Rigetti? Yeah, I'm sure that they do, Coconut. You know, they're literally in a communist country. So, I mean, I'm sure that their story is fabricated for sure. We got to keep that in mind. We got to be very careful with what we see from their media, along with ours. I'm not saying ours is perfect either, but I don't know which one I trust more. Look at Rigetti, though. This is a big support, Bobby. I'm glad that you brought Rigetti up. That is a big area of support on the daily chart. If this ends up holding here for the next couple days, you might be able to snipe an upside move here. You're going to probably have to be pretty patient today, but I feel like there's a good opportunity in some snipe here off of support. Good old Rigetti. Yeah, I like the way it's starting to try and move. Quite good. I kind of like it for a little snipe here. Hold of support. Get back up a little bit. Watch that support, of course, around 20 very closely. The music's so intense. Oh, yeah. I like it. I like the music. I'm sure you kind of like it too, but it's, I've been enjoying it lately, actually. It's pretty nice. Here, I'll send the link in the chat again, so you guys can check it out. The guy has, like, no viewers almost. It's weird. I would think that there's more viewers, but it is what it is. I know there's so many people out there that make this music, though. Don't even know how I found them. Man, SPY really turned around there. They had that good run, but turned around quite hard. 688.50. Decent pullback there. Coconut said, at the end of the day, it's not our business. Yeah, it might not be. We've been over there for so long. I know in Taiwan, I don't know if it is or not. I know one of the biggest deals is the Taiwan semiconductor. TSM. That's the biggest problem over there, probably. That's what you got to think. But for the most part, I generally agree as well. I'm just wondering, I wonder what people would argue to that. I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure that there's something. Hey. Yeah. Olaf. Yeah, I mean, it's been posted about quite a bit. The SPY's not really moving much. You know, whenever there's not really much momentum, I mean, there's no point in forcing a lot of trades. You know, if you wanted to force some trades, you can go look at other opportunities. You know, you can go to the bonus bots section. Maybe check out the golden sweeps. Maybe look at some of the bigger trades that some of the big money are looking at here today. Like, there's some AMD calls with like 1.3 million thrown into them. It's the 212.5 calls expiring January 16th. Maybe they're trying to snipe it up off the low of the day for a better move up. Seems like a weird trade, though, given where AMD is right now, if I'm being honest. But you can always wait for more there as well. You can also check out the SM bot, which always has opportunities. It's kind of just showing you where the momentum is. Like right now, it's calling out NVIDIA puts. NVIDIA just made a new low of the day, so I'm not surprised that it's saying that. There is good downside momentum here, so maybe you could follow that to the downside as stocks pull back a little bit today. Rigetti itself, RGTI, very slow. Rivian puts are on the bot as well, starting to heat up. RIVN trying to post some green, so be a little careful if you look at this one. Of course, it's a screener showing you where the momentum is. The momentum can shift, though, in the short term. We seeing oil start to move? Oxy's all over it. Wow. Hey, Oxy. All right. Zom tried to get a nice pop going, too. We're seeing decent moves out of oil if you're interested in some opportunities. You know, you could check out some options on oil stocks. They have been in play lately a bit more than others. FTAI Aviation, let's see. What feed data do you use? Too many choices? I'm considering it the lifetime bookmap special. Nice, yeah. So for the feed, what I use is DX feed. I use DX feed for stocks. I pay for the, well, I don't pay for it, but I have the bundle. It's usually like $120 a month, I believe, for that bundle. But I have DX feed. I have not just used the bookmap data. I'm wondering if you could just sign up for the bookmap data. I actually went on bookmap and asked their support about which one was better and stuff. They weren't much help. But you could maybe try the bookmap data and, you know, report back if it doesn't work. Or, you know, you could message them and say, I don't want this, I want the other data. And I'm sure that they'll revert it over for you. But I have DX feed. Rivian jumping up 19.6. So the Santa rally's canceled. Daniel says, good day to everyone. You know, that's a great question. Is it canceled, right? I mean, it goes all the way out till January 5th, technically. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4 more trading days. If you don't count today. If you count today, then 5. Essentially 5 more trading days to see if we go green or not for the Santa rally. It's definitely possible. You know, like, let's just look at the SPY on a daily chart on the way up. You know, like, look at all these periods of downtrend mixed in here. I mean, but what were these followed by, right? Each time that we saw these downtrends, it was followed by a little breakout, then a little breakout, then a little breakout. You know, right now, the SPY, I mean, it's been doing pretty good. It just made new highs on Friday. I think we're just seeing a little bit of a pullback. I don't think that we're seeing anything crazy. And, you know, ultimately, the SPY hasn't done shit. I don't think it warrants any concerns or any freakouts or anything. It's just consolidating. You know, it's done this the whole way up. Of course, there's some periods where, you know, it will move up more than others, but there's so many red days mixed in. Like right here is probably a pretty good, you know, stretch of uptrend, right? Before we really get any pullback. But like, again, like look at this one now that I'm highlighting. I mean, there were multiple little consolidation days and pullbacks mixed in all the way up till it broke out. Buffett bought a bunch of Chevron, did he? CVX. January, your counter sets back to 0. What counter are you talking about there? One sec, guys. All right, all right, all right. Sorry about that. Had a quick emergency there. Guten Morgen, brain. Nice. What are you saying? Intel still moving up here. Let's go, Intel. It's been all over the SM bot this morning. It's been interesting to see it moving so well. I like it. That's what we really want to see. That is a good move. It all went to silver and gold. With all this volatility, you'd think the VIX would be higher. Well, yeah, SPY did start dropping a little bit. We got to keep in mind that new all-time highs were just here. Whoa, Robert. Coming through again with the 10 spot. Thank you, sir. Would like thoughts on 3 things. On the daily, does BTC look like a flag is making with China SLV import restrictions in effect on 1/1? Is that bullish or bearish? And thoughts on CWEB. So it's a bit strange. So first off, I think I'm going to go ahead and tackle the China silver question first. With China silver import restrictions in effect on January 1st, is that bullish or bearish? That's more of a bullish thing for silver. Because essentially what that's going to do is restrict silver supply. And what do we generally know? If there's low supply and there's still good demand, you know, you see prices go up. So that's something to keep in mind here. It's that supply and demand curve that people talk about in economics class, right? Kind of what you're looking like there. So that's it's more bullish for silver. For the overall market, it's not really a big deal. I don't think we're going to see too much like SPY action from that. Great question, though. Really good question. And then thoughts on CWEB with that. So CWEB silver, this is a China index. Oh, it's a leverage. I forgot Queb was leveraged here. CWEB anyways. There's a KWEB as well. If you guys didn't know. But CWEB. We have seen some big money trades on this one from July. Looks like they're going to end in a couple weeks. Have not really worked out the best. If you held them till now anyways. Worked out great for the first few months, but for CWEB, I'm kind of a fan of getting into CWEB on this dip. I think that it'll be an okay play. It's an internet ETF though, so like we have to keep in mind that what silver does doesn't really affect, you know, a China internet ETF, right? Not, at least not a lot. So it's not really associated there, but I do like CWEB as a dip buy. I think there could be good opportunities. I would stick to shares personally, but yeah, the supply and demand curve, Tangy, man. Tom's Corvette leaking oil. That's an emergency. It's actually the Mustang that's leaking oil. That's funny you said that. Yeah, I did too, Mason. I did too. I'm not quite sure about that Trump ETF, though. Let's see. Truth Social American Icons ETF, TSIC. Oh yeah, there are some hitting. TSIC, TSES, Truth Social American Security and Defense ETF. Wow, looks like there's multiple ETFs starting to trade here today. Very interesting. I did not expect to find this today. Apparently there's even more. One sec. Sorry about that, guys. Dealing with a lot of important phone calls in the short term here. Got a lot going on related to my dad, of course. One of the few classes that gets used in everyday life. Yes, for real. I love that class. And now, I don't want to forget Robert's other question, though, on Bitcoin really quick. He said, 3 things. So we did Queb, we did Silveries, but Bitcoin, he said, does Bitcoin look like a flag is making or is forming? Let's see. Yeah, you know, you could call this more of like a bear flag. Yep, if you wanted to. It's not like you have to have a very specific name for it. I personally am looking at this as more of like a dead cat bounce right now. And what that is where like you essentially see a very big drop like what we're seeing here. And then you'll see a point of consolidation where maybe it bounces back a little bit, but then ultimately gives out. And I'll pull it up here to show you. And I'll also pull up a lot of flags to show you those as well. Especially bear flags. Let me... find a good example here. Because a dead cat bounce doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. But it just, generally, it would look something like this. I just wanted to see the image. Oh my god. 1 minute. Asshole Google. Alright, let's see. Let's go get it again. There we go. All right. This is essentially what you're looking at. You know, you see something that's rising in a pretty nice way. You'll see a stark pullback, and then you'll see this slight price recovery or period of consolidation right before an ultimate bigger drop down. A lot of people look at this slight recovery zone as, let's say, a flag, right? Like maybe a bear flag or, you know, just a flag in general. Let me pull up some flags here for you. Here are some more specific flags if you're looking for it. And you can see how it's kind of similar here. Like if we're looking at these flags, you can see the bear flag on the bottom left. You can kind of tell that that looks just like what we were just looking at. Let me find that picture again. Right here. It looks just like this. You know, you get that slight flag, a bigger drop down, right? Kind of the same exact thing. You know, it's just said in a different way, right? Even the wedge flag, you know, bearish pennant. I mean, they look very similar, right, to what we're seeing right here with Bitcoin. So that's something that I'm looking at very closely with Bitcoin. And I'm keeping an open mind that, you know, there is a possibility that it could fall. You know, it definitely is possible. Bitcoin recently broke under a major trend line. It had been on a good uptrend. It followed this for a year and a half. I mean, essentially. And, you know, recently finally broke back down underneath it. So that's just important to keep in mind. Whoa, coming through again. Thanks. Playing MSTR to the downside. Stay blessed. I like that down. Yeah, nice. I like that down. I wouldn't be surprised if it fell off more. It's already down a lot, but these stocks that get overextended can really blow people's minds sometimes whenever you see big downtrend come in. I'm gonna throw up Mag 7 really quickly. Give me 1 sec. Man, SPY about to break down under 686.75 pretty much at the low of day today. Uh-oh. SPY dropping down a little bit more. Not really holding up too well. Check that 5-minute chart. 1 sec, guys. Mag 7 time. All right. Man, Meta pullback down to 665. Oh, yeah. That's a pretty big pullback going on there. Pretty good. Microsoft pulling back. Google down. The only thing holding up pretty well is Tesla, and they're not even really up that much. They're right around break even on the day, but over the past 20 minutes or so, they've been moving a bit better, but SPY still breaking down, starting to move lower here. Uh-oh. Are we going to see some growth players start to play out instead of the SPY here today? Neo, XPEV, Baidu, MJ, Serve Robotics, Lumen, ACB, Navitas, Intel, ASTS, QBTS. Palantir is coming back from its drop. PLTR. There we go. That's a pretty good comeback there, up to 183.80. That was a pretty nasty drop, I gotta say, though. That was pretty rough. You got the Mac Mini for Christmas. There you go. He says my book map finally doesn't lag. The Mac Mini. Are there like different ones, or like do you just get like the M4 one or something? I don't know how you pick those out, but yeah, that's cool. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. So there's different memory options, but man, those things they look pretty nice. That's interesting. That's pretty cool. Now I'm out here looking at this new MacBook Pro. The Mac Studio would have been good for the long term, but eventually I'm going to get a PC. Yeah. Hey, the Mac Mini probably is going to do the job just fine. Definitely seems capable there. Man, Intel, new highs of the day again. Intel keeping it going here. Let's go, Intel. Boom, Intel. Yeah, for what I need it for, it's perfect. Awesome, yeah. No matter how much people complain about Apple not innovating, they continue to sell. Yeah, they do. I think that the phones need to be innovated a bit more, at least on the look. But I thought that they did a pretty good job with the 17, honestly. You know, it was a bit different. I actually liked their product quite a bit there, and I like their products in general. I don't love, like, if you're a gamer, you know, you probably don't want it, right? You're probably better to get a PC or something, but I mean, I think for most everything else, you're fine to have an Apple. Spent a ton on marketing. The 17's good other than the battery. Ooh, that would scare me with the battery. I got the 16 Pro Max. I remember right before the 17 came out. I remember talking about that with you guys on here, kind of laughing. It was funny. I got mine, and literally 1 week later, the 17 came out. It was funny. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Windows Phone, I kind of liked it. I remember talking about that on here a little while ago. It would be very cool to have a new phone company emerge, or like just new phones, right? Something different, something cool, right? I can't wait for this Apple folding phone. I swear, I'm gonna want one of those right away. It's probably gonna have problems, but I'll probably want one. Sorry, guys. Gotta do something really quick. We have too many phone companies. It's just Americans are not aware of them. Well, there are a lot of Chinese ones and stuff. I guess I mean like more companies with phones that are good enough. I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. I know that this is one of the ones that I have looked at in the past. Xiaomi. It's like Xaiomi. Xaiomi. Here we go. Here's their website. That literally looks just like an iPhone. I almost feel like you could sue them. It's like... Brain said they're great. The only problem is that G will then know your every move. That's funny. Wow, look at that. It says powered by Bose. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's too bad, right? Like, you know, if this was made by like a US company, I mean, I'd probably be all over it. Guess they're making their own chips. Pretty interesting. They jumped ahead because we don't allow them to compete here. Huh. Yeah, I know it's made in China, Coconut, obviously, though. Lots of differences with the tech and all that. With a pinch of Samsung. It's definitely interesting. You feel bad for Sony? Their Xperia is great but gets no love? Huh. I didn't even know that they still made phones. Do they? Maybe not in the US or something. I'm not sure. I'm like on their website and I don't even see anything. SNE. What is Sony's ticker again? Oh, it's just Sony. I don't remember it being that. Bounced off 25 recently. Sony had been doing well, coming back a bit. Recently filled the gap on the daily chart down to 25. Kind of interesting, actually. I like it. Good morning, Jane. I like that 1 minute move here. SPY starting to form a base and actually come up off of the base. Go check on some of these uranium stocks. URA. Kind of down a lot today. URA gap down 5.4%. Jeez. Large drop there. SPY starting to come back off of this drop. Let's see if SPY can get back to 688 plus. That would make for a pretty decent move and recovery there. Pretty decent. Actually, the iPhone used to use a Sony lens. I think they might still do it, actually. I never knew that. That is interesting. I'm surprised we don't hear more about stuff like that. I guess Apple always tries to eventually phase it out, but... Sorry, guys, helping somebody out here. Need just a moment. Doing 50 things at once today. Gotta love it. I'll ask my wife and send pics. Oh no. You were to fake. What is that? I don't even know what you're talking about. That is a wild sounding creature thing. I have no idea. Tesla. Really stuck here. Come on, Tesla. Let's get through. Very slow, very stuck. Looks like it wants to break through that resistance, though. I don't even want... It sounds like a bad word. I don't even want to say that. What in the world? Those things look so weird. I refuse to even say it. I refuse. Created by Hong Kong Illustrator. Oh. Yep. Not for me. All right, there we go. Tesla getting through finally. Starting to break through this little wedge. All right, Tessie. That's why every time someone brings up LabU in the chat, I post a pic of one and Gengar laughs. I never knew that you posted that, really. LabU. That's funny. People do bring up LabU quite a bit, though, I must say. I like the energy stocks, Jane. I think that stuff like Oxy, which is a bit lower, provides a lot of really good opportunities for a possible recovery play here. Yeah, I like the energy sector here. Decent opportunities for sure. Rigetti's not really an energy stock, but, you know, Oxy, XLE is a nice one. EXE, is that the one we were looking at yesterday? Yep, EXE. Recent big money trade on that. I think that there's some good opportunities with energy right now, yep. If we go and we look at crude oil futures, we can see that the futures have been holding up really well off support, bouncing around this $55 per barrel area. Quantum Christmas was disappointing, yep. D-Wave Quantum. I like that EXE's in an uptrend too. Yeah, that is nice. Hey, I'm glad Quantum's moving higher though. Quantum, QBTS, I know you talked about Quantum Christmas there for a minute. Pretty interesting to see QBTS moving. Tesla's still above the high of the day here, trying to poke a little higher here. Trying. Quantum computers have a very long way to go before they're useful. Yeah, I wonder, you know, I saw some people make comments that it could be quick. Some people say long. It's a hard one to think about there. I think it's a situation where we'll start to see it come up a lot more, but some people I think said within like 5 years or something it's going to be pretty practical. I don't know, they could be lying, you know. Simon says, I think AI will make it quick. Tom, you think Tesla will continue to rise? I definitely lean that way, Jose. That is the way I am going here intraday. Looks like a lot of chop with Tesla, though. But I lean more up here from this point. It just touched a pretty decent resistance around 461.70, but I'd love to see it continue. The AI assistant. Interesting. It's always interesting to see those different takes there. Yeah, very short term, Jose. I mean, quick scalp. You know, you'd already almost be wanting out, probably. You know, on a setup like this, generally, whenever you start to break through, like, the upper trend line or the upper resistance, you know, that's where, like, you could start to, like, look for entry, you know, somewhere here or, like, within this zone, you know, to ride this wave higher. Now it's already kind of moving up, right? A lot of the really quick scalpers would probably already be out right now. Again, they might just take a quick 20%, be gone. Many institutional players are using 105 strike puts and 110 calls on the yield boost strategies. Huh. Nice intraday pop there, Tessie. No more downside. I mean, there can always be some downside mixed in for sure. But I lean more up today than down. JP Morgan fell off a little bit, testing 322.50. All right, Rigetti. Oh, I had that nice pop a couple seconds ago. Pulled back. RGTI doing pretty good, I must say. Doing pretty good. How's Disney doing in the short term? Oh, nice. Up to 115 today. Pretty good action by them. Up 0.74%. Disney has been like straight up the past few weeks. I think that this stock has been going under the radar. Disney's been trying to fix their Marvel screw-ups, bringing back Captain America. NASDAQ on the daily. 5 minute, testing that high of the day here. 621.50. Pretty good test. Pretty good test. Tesla's moving back down to test that previous resistance now as intraday support. This is a bit of a weird spot for Tesla as it pulls back into this range. You know, we know that this is a big support range here for Tesla. It also lines up well with the trend. So let's see if the trend continues. This would be a big spot for it to reverse back up and get that uptrend continuing. If it starts to really break through here, I think it's going to worry a lot of traders. Disney's been doing pretty good, I guess, fixing their screw-ups because they have been coming back. I mean, even look here intraday. Not that this has to do with their screw-ups, but you can see just how good it has been. XOP has tighter spreads. Oil and gas exploration and production ETF. Looking at XOP, it's been really in this big channel here. Very interesting by XOP. Just had a big money trade on that one end from October 23rd. It's like that one did okay at some points, but XOP, I do like XOP a lot. You know, we look at this one quite often. I guess it makes sense. There's probably more volume on the chain. I don't know. The spreads aren't great here either. Well, I'm going out to February, though. Let's see January. Yeah, I mean, the spreads kind of suck. So does the volume on XOP. I don't know. Now that I switch over to it and I look, it's... I don't know. The spreads are a bit weird there, I must say. EXE. I really like XLE. That's probably the... If I had to pick any of them, that'd probably be the main one, given just that so much goes into this one, but there will be a slower price action with it, though. I think Oxy could be a great one, honestly, too. Probably just go Oxy. That's what I would do. All right, Tessie. Trying to hold this trend still. Look at it trying to bounce. It's like the second touch here. Oxy is way too big of a range for me. Ooh, I see. You like itty bitty moves that like melt ups. I see. Man, SPY testing 688. This is a big resistance for today. Rejecting again though, right at break even. We've said that like 4 times on the SPY. It's been at break even today. Every time it starts to move, it comes right back. SMR bottoming out. Let's see, daily chart. You might scale in EXE shares, more capital, but data will be nice without any option spread BS. Hey, I like it. I think it's pretty smart a lot of times to grab shares. You know, you don't always have to be married to options like that. Intel's really ripping. Damn, Intel. Man, Intel is on fire, 3.8%. I would say star of the show. That is a big ripper there. Continuing very well here in the short term also. Wow. The strength with Intel is getting serious. Tesla's still consolidating here at the trend. Very slow, choppy run up. Very slow and choppy. Think Intel will pop 40? Oh. 40 today would be pretty insane. I mean, there's a lot of momentum. I don't think it'll hit 40 today. Not today. I do think it can hit 40, though, maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next day. Well, Friday. Wow, that's a good rip. 4.2%. Oh, yeah. Keep it going, Intel. That is what we like. The more the merrier. Maybe we will hit 40. Intel just straight up on that minute chart. The daily looks like more room to continue. Looks like on the daily it bounced off the upwards trend line. Yeah, you know, I think if you technically draw the trend like from here, yep, if you draw that one up, it did bounce right off of it. No kidding there, Jane. I didn't draw that one up, but it did. What if we drew this one up even? Kind of close. Nothing near as good as this one. Good point. I'm surprised I didn't see that, Jane. I normally see all those trends. Oh, excuse me. Let's eye it up on the book map really quick. Got a couple people asking for it in Discord as well. Sorry, guys, trying to switch to it here. There we go. Here it is. It's like 40. Does have quite a bit stacked up there. That'd be pretty huge. 169,000 shares. Not bad. Grab a couple screenshots for other people here. While we're in, I guess. Gotta love the book maps. God. There we go. Fucking screenshots. All right. Nice to see Sir Bot Sergio come back from vacation. Yep, don't force trades though. Don't start forcing trades, but we did start to see some good momentum come through, at least out of a few stocks and few sectors, right? Yeah, definitely nice. Glad to see it come back. I know you guys are getting too anxious. You guys have no patience, I can see. No patience out there. I'd work on that. It's a big deal in trading. Big deal. I like resistance here, sitting around 77 on ASTS. Pretty good action. Palantir past opening highs. Let's see. PLTR. Yeah, it did. Yeah, definitely new high from open. Interesting. Yeah, 184.50 broke. Good run. Good run. PLTR past the opening high. Keep it going, Palantir. Help push that SPY up. Let's go look at the Mag 7 here, because SPY did pretty good again. 688.50, nice. Another couple candles there. Like to see it. NVIDIA coming back. Seeing lots of good comebacks today. Some of these stocks are back in the green by quite a bit, which is good. Microsoft, Google, Tesla. You know, and everybody thought the Santa rally was dead, didn't they? I mean, we're actually not far from all-time highs if we start to pop up here. If SPY gets up to like 689.30, 690, we'll be right there again. Tangy Man's cheering. And it's not for UEC today. Man, Intel, that was just such a good run. It definitely is starting to slow up a bit. Don't be surprised. It's getting very high on the day. I would think that there's a good shot that it could end up slowing up here. Nice rip there. 4.12%. Gonna start slowing down probably. AMD, though, looks hot. AMD is breaking above the highs of this morning. That is a good breakout there on AMD. Good hold of 216.40 as well on the pullback. Pretty nice. Man, let's see if SPY can get it going, though. Little double top, 688.50. Come on, let's see if we can get this done. Get this move going. Tesla very slow as it tries to still recover up here. It's having some trouble breaking out. I'm noticing a trend line from the top here with Tesla. Kind of worrying there. Weird price action in this zone for Tesla. Definitely a weird move today. Microsoft pulling back here. Uh-oh. Going back to Mag 7. Yeah, Microsoft, Apple, both turning over pretty hard. Hard pass. You like Tesla for puts or not yet? I don't really love it right now. I don't really love it for calls either. It's kind of stuck. It's actually very stuck. ONDS. There goes Tesla coming back. Still trying to mount that good move with the calls, it looks like. We might see something better start to play out. Man, Tessie, that's a decent pop, 462. Already back at the high of the day. There you go, Tessie. New high of the day. 462.30 achieved. Boom. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Got an appointment with the Sandman. Time to sleep soon. Have a great day. Thanks, Tom. Well, thank you, Tangi, as always, for joining up. Being an awesome part of this community. Speaking of that, we're probably going to be calling the stream right here anyways. Man, oh man, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. It's been a wild day in the stock market. I say we've seen some great price action. You know, Intel's been straight up today. Love the overall movement there. I mean, star of the show for me. But whenever I'm looking at the market here, you know, the SPY, very choppy, very back and forth, but there has been opportunity if you've been willing to buy up the dip, for example, or maybe snipe it at the high of the day there for like a quick scalp back down. You know, there's a lot of ways to go and trade the market, especially on a day like this where there's multiple different opportunities. Of course, I would really prefer a better directional move, so I would prefer SPY to, you know, continue the uptrend, but we'll see how it plays out today. Hopefully it happens quicker rather than later, right? No problem, Joe Papa. I appreciate that. I will be live tomorrow, Outlaw. I will not be live, though, on Thursday, New Year's Day, but I will be live tomorrow, the 31st, and I'll also be live Friday, January 2nd. Don't forget that the Santa Rally is going to be over on Monday, January 5th. It will be over. But all right, guys, have a great rest of the day. I hope to see you in the Discord. Oh, yeah, for those of you that don't know, tonight is the live Q&A. We're switching it from Wednesday to tonight. Switching it over. If you're not yet in the trading floor, check out the chat. Check out the link. Check out code CRUSH2026. It'll give you access to the trading floor so you can join up and be at the live Q&A tonight. You can ask Mike any questions and he will answer them for you. But all right, time to head out. Talk to you later.